Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Let's start with Jason. And here's the thing, he talks to Taggart, and then we don't see him for the rest of the episode. So, as I'm sitting there writing his name, when I'm doing my notes and stuff like that, I think I had to put him like under 2 minutes. Because that's how long I saw him for. Hell, and even Taggart's like, good luck. Whatever you gotta do to get out of here, make it fast. Now, when pretty much ex-law enforcement is rooting for Jason, you can tell that the other guy is a lot worse. And that's the thing about Jason, as far as when how long I've been watching this show, Jason's this criminal, he's this mob guy and everything like that, but usually, all the times I've seen him point a gun at someone, he's been 1,000 times worse than Jason. Anyway, he says good luck, and then we don't see him for the rest of the episode. So I'm kind of wondering what was even the point of him actually being on this episode. I don't know. If anyone can tell me, please write it down in the comment section below. So Britt comes in, and Britt is all worried about Jason and stuff like that, being locked up and stuff. Talking about, she needs to help him out, and, because Jason tries to calm her down. And she's like, she pretty much, she doesn't sit there and say, like, I'm not Carly or anything like that, but she's like, no, you need to calm down. Like no. She's getting frustrated at Jason because he's pretty much just cool hand Luke about this whole thing. He's just calm and mellow and like, yeah, I know, yeah, well, whatever. And after Britt kind of gives, Jason a history lesson about how good Peter is, how he's Phasar's son, he hated him, but he learned everything from him. Just to kind of be like, yo, you need to kind of, take this guy a little more serious. Now, there is one point in this episode that I legit rewind twice. This is the part where Britt is, like, getting flustered about something, or she's getting angry about something, and her hand starts shaking, and Jason grabs her hand and pretty much is like, you're not as selfish as you like to pretend to be. So they look at each other and everything like that. Now Sam walks in. Ooh, the look that she gave when she saw that whole scenario, I mean, damn. I didn't know what to say. I literally had to rewind that twice. I was like, no, I want to see that again. Because I'm like, for me, well, that look looks like jealousy. But that can't be right. Because the way that she just abruptly broke out with Jason like 5 minutes before he had to go on a mission. But, nah, that can't be that look. I must be saying things. Just a long day, whatever. So when she walks in, Britt leaves, and man, again, the look that Sam gave. I don't even know. I mean, it looked like jealousy to me, but I could be wrong. And she walks in, asks how Jason's doing, making sure he's okay and everything like that, and just kind of checking up on him. Now, before this episode ends, you see Britt, and you see Sam in the elevator. And they pretty much kind of look at each other like, yo, I don't like you, you don't like me, but Peter, he's the problem. And he's already framing Jason, so we need to do something. Then Carly comes in. I mean, man, this guy Jason just has all the luck. I mean, not only was he just getting visit after visit, I mean, all these women were just beautiful as hell. So Carly comes in after Carly finds out that Gladys, classless Gladys, was the one that told the cops that, Jason was the one, had the murder weapon and everything like that. So she walks in and she's like, yeah, I'm going to get you out and we're going to do whatever it takes. Now, earlier, she was talking to Cyrus. And, Cyrus comes in, starts acting all cocky and stuff like that, talking about, oh, well, no, Jason, he's locked up and Sonny has passed, so I just, I'm going to go to the meeting and I'm going to make sure that you're good. But, you got to do something for me. Now, Carly gets a call from Michael, letting her know that Gladys was the one that, is lying about Jason. So, surprisingly, and I just found this odd, that she confronted Cyrus, about the fact that she knew that Gladys was the one behind this whole frame up thing. I'm surprised. I thought she would have just kind of kept that close to the vest. But yeah, she pretty much was like, yo, so now you got Gladys and they're doing your dirty work or whatever for you? And Cyrus is like, well, that's a funny thing about witnesses. Sometimes they see stuff and, sometimes they don't. Now earlier, before we get to that point, Cyrus just sit there and mention, like, are you the one that's behind the whole, like, are you the one that's behind the whole business? Since Jason's gone and whatever, like, are you, behind the whole business? Now, I thought about that when Cyrus was like, Jason can't come to the meeting. And I'm like, well, why doesn't Carly go to the meeting? I know for a while, they've been trying to sit there and protect Carly and, she doesn't really need to know that much and blah, 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 blah. She could be implemented in the cops. And I'm like, here's the thing. The cops are going to come, from what we've seen, literally not that long ago, the FBI, whatever, was gunning for Carly. Specifically because she was a Corinthos. So my whole thing is like, between the fact that the cops are going to be gunning for you for the rest of your life, you're always going to be put in danger, regardless if you're in the business or not. Why the hell can't she not be in the business? I mean, yeah, of course, the last time she was in the business, she came in with a baseball bat, but, times change, I think it would be really cool, is all I'm saying. It's 2021. I'm pretty sure she can do it. Like, come on. It's just come on. It's just dumb at this point. But yeah, Cyrus pretty much says, like, in this veiled threat or whatever, or underlining, double talk. And he was like, listen, if you let go of my mother, then, I'll make sure Jason goes free. And he walks away, and at this point, I'm sitting there thinking, if you're ever going to give back Cyrus's mother, now would be the time. Now would be the time. Just throwing it out there. Now would be the time. And that's when she comes to the jail to let Jason know, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get you out. Now, of course, probably Monday's episode, which technically would have been today's episode, but it didn't happen for reasons. Monday, she's probably gonna be sitting there arguing with Jason about giving back his mother and yada yada yada. So I guess we'll just wait and see how that goes. Let's talk about Sonny and Nina. Nina seems conflicted as far as, should she do the right thing and tell Sonny his memories and stuff like that? Reach out to, I don't know, anyone except for Carly to let them know that their dad is alive? Or should she just sit there and be like, you know what, let sleeping dogs lie? So when she's not there talking to Sonny, she kind of dangles the truth a little bit. She's like, would you ever want to know who you were before? Like, trying to leave it up to him. And I'm like, okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure once he gets back his memories and he knew that you knew, he's not going to be happy. You're trying to make it seem like, oh, well, I'll let you decide. It's like, no. You don't get to sit there and just, like, do that so that way you can absolve yourself of, like, guilt. That's not how any of this works. But yeah, she asks him and he's like, yeah, he gives her a yes and no answer. Um, and then at some point, Phyllis comes in, and they get to talking, and pretty much what Sonny asks Nina to do is to write an article talking about the Tano. And Nina's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I can really do that. I mean, the staff back at Port Charles, they kind of doing their own thing right now. I'm on vacation. I'm on sabbatical. I need to clear my mind. And I'm sitting there thinking, what? Like you just literally heard the fact that her business isn't doing so good because of the crime and everything like that. You could do this one thing to sit there and help her out, and you're just giving a bunch of excuses. Are you serious? And granted, Sonny does remind her of the fact that, when she needs to talk to somebody for answers, she dropped everything what she had to do to come all the way down there. And not once, but I'm pretty sure she came over there twice. The point is, she came down there to help her out, to give her answers, to give her closure, whatever. And she hesitated like, the remote control is just so damn far away. I think I'll just leave it on this channel for a while. Like, that was her attitude. That was her attitude. You have an opportunity to sit there and do something for someone, and you're just like, I don't know. Anyway, Sonny convinces her, and she changes her mind, and she decides to do it because, well, let's be honest, she was guilt-tripped into it. And it's not, okay, let me back that up. Yes, she was guilt-tripped into it, but it was one of those things where she just did it the first time when they asked her to. So, now let's talk about, hold on. Let's talk about Michael and Sasha. Now, pretty much, they don't really talk about much. They talk about Nina. They talk about some other stuff too. I think it's mostly Nina that they talk about. There is one point in this episode where I think they both try to grab the sugar or something. And like Michael like pulls back a little bit. Like Michael has that look like, oh, I'm sorry, whatever. I'm like, bro, how many times did you have sex with her? And now you're doing this one of those little, like what? She's giving you cooties or something? Like what was that about? Now, I know that they're trying to work things out or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know what Sasha's timetable is for that, because I feel like she's getting more closer to Brando all the time. My Michael sister tries to, I don't know. I understand that he's trying to work on trying to, like he's, trying to like, take things slowly and stuff like that, but I don't know if she feels the same way. And I just felt like that was just weird. And then plus Michael talked a lot about not just his son, which was fine, but he also talked about Willow. Like, oh, Willow is her mother and this, that, and the third. Like they have this family dynamic going on, and I'm just sitting there thinking, Sasha, is this really what you want? Because I'm looking at it from her perspective, and I don't know if she said this or somebody said this, but as far as like at one point, she didn't want to be Instamom. I don't know what that means. I mean, I sort of do, but like, why would you want to? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to get together with Michael, knowing that he shares custody with Willow, which they're living together, by the way, and in a lot of those conversations, that's who he was there talking about. Like, what's that even gonna look like? So I just feel like that's just like, I feel like the more I'm looking at it, I feel like the more that Michael is looking less appealing. In Sasha's eyes, and Brando is just a new chance, a new beginning. She doesn't really have to sit there and seem like she has to reprove herself to Brando like she does to Michael. Now, granted, yeah, she did mess up, but it was out of malice, So I don't know. about this whole Michael and Sasha thing. Like, I really don't. And, I feel like in the end, Michael's gonna get hurt. Once again. Now, classless Gladys comes in with Brando. And, they get to talking to Michael and stuff like that. And then, Gladys asks Sasha a couple questions, like, how long have you and Brando been spending time together, and, what's your story and stuff like that. And then, when she goes back to Brando, and Brando's like, we're just friends, first of all, Gladys is like, and that's why you keep looking at her every 5 seconds, and when, Brando's like, they're just trying to work things out or whatever, like they're kind of getting back into step again. Gladys is like, yeah, well, I don't know. And we all know how much I do not like Gladys, but I actually gotta agree with her on that one. Like, I do. And I will not agree with that woman on much of damn near anything, but on that situation, I will agree. Now, we'll get into more of the weaker parts of this episode. Let's just get into the extremely weak part of this episode. I mean, it was nice. It was kind of weak. And that is the Laura and Martin Gray part. I do like their relationship. Them getting closer and stuff like that. Martin does seem like a really, like a really great guy. Married 3 times. I actually wrote that down in my notes. And this is a question that I kind of want to sit there and ask people. Now, it's kind of a personal question, so you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. But have you ever been married more than once? And that's not including like if your significant other has passed. But just like if things didn't work out and you decide to remarry again. Or like more than once. And if so, why? Or more than twice and I wonder why. I don't know. Like, after the first time, I just, like, I don't, for me, I don't see the point of that, like, a little bit, I don't see the point of just remarrying, and some people do it, like, right away, like, some people sit there and be like, oh, my 4th ex-wife, or whatever, it's like, your 4th? Did you kill the other 3? I don't know. But, yeah, he talks about how he was married, like, 3 times or whatever. It didn't work out. Honestly, to tell you the truth, they're just getting to know each other. That's the whole point of their interactions. Getting to know each other. Kind of comparing notes a little bit. Laura was kind of a wild child back in the day, apparently. This is way before I watched this show. I do want to ask a question. And the reason why I want to ask a question... because I'm going to be sitting there posting... I'm sitting there thinking about posting something. This is about Luke and Laura, by the way. But yeah. Apparently she was a wild child back in the day. And they kind of compare notes a little bit. And, she wants to sit there and celebrate his birthday, even though it's late. Everything goes well until Cyrus walks up like, so, what'd you wish for, little brother? And that was pretty much about it. And I will be asking this question at the end. Because I really want to know, and I gotta kind of do it. I was gonna do a separate video, and I still may do a video on that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a video on that. But yeah, that was pretty much their story, more or less. And the last little bit I want to talk about: Dante, Anna, and Sam. Damn, maybe I actually have to look at my notes for that. So pretty much Sam and Olivia are outside waiting to see what's going on with Dante and stuff like that. How did it go? How did his therapy session went with Kevin that's not there? Dante and Anna are talking for a little bit. They leave because apparently Kevin was there and then we just didn't see him. And then we didn't see him ever, so I guess we just had to assume he was there. So Kevin... So, all 4 of them get together, and they pretty much talk about the fact that Dante was like brainwashed or whatever, like manipulated, you know, through these trigger words or these whatever trigger it was. But pretty much they think that Kevin kind of like made sure that he wouldn't be you know, like reactivated or whatever. Like Dante wouldn't be reactivated by like whatever it was. But he's gonna be doing follow up sessions or whatever. But I'm not gonna lie, it was almost kind of amazing because you know, Olivia was like, well, first of all, Olivia walked up like, are you okay? Like she's walking up, and I get overprotectiveness, but it's like she's walking up like Dante's this 5-year-old child or whatever. Like he scraped his knee playing baseball or something. But pretty much she asked, like, you know, is he okay? Is he safe to come home yet? And Anna's like, yep, pretty much. I was like, so he just had one session and now he's cured? He could just go back home and be around everyone else, including kids? We're all sure about this? I mean, this guy literally was going to kill Peter, which he deserves it. But this wasn't because of something he wanted to do. It's because he was kind of brainwashed to do. And he just kind of swept that all out the way in one session. Okay, sure. They talk about Dr. Curse, but Dr. Curse is dead. And I don't remember. I think it was Olivia was like, so, you know, he's not, you know, manipulating from the grave. So, you know, it leaves the question, who is pulling the strings? And that's when Anna has a look on her face like, this is interesting. You know, like she's not there wondering, like who could it be that is pulling the strings, where Dante's concerned. She makes a phone call to someone, so I guess we'll find that out on Monday unless there's another interruption. So yeah, let me just double check. Yeah, I think that's about it. If I miss anything, please write it down in the comment section below. With that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. You know, I'm just gonna yammer for like 2 seconds, but I just want to really thank everyone for watching these videos. It's so crazy. You know, sometimes I look at the numbers, and you know, in the beginning, my Days reviews were higher than my GH reviews. And I look at it now and it's like the numbers are so off that I'm just like, so what am I doing wrong in my Days reviews? But then I'm also sitting there thinking like, you know, I always sit there and try to put a little bit of pressure on myself. Always sit there and try to do better with these videos, to make them more fun, more funny, and all that good stuff. And sometimes I sit there and think, you know, if I ever think about how many people are actually watching, I think I may actually get nervous during the reviews if I do. So I never really sit there and think about that. But I'm always very grateful whenever I see anyone watch my reviews, you know. No matter if it's 20 people, if it's 2 people, if it's, I don't know, 150 people, you know, 130 people. I want to thank everyone for watching my videos, and just for rocking me in general. And I'm not going to ask the other question because I think I want to do it as a separate video. And this is pretty much about Luke and Laura. Yeah, I kind of want to do a separate video about that. But yes, the other question still does stand if anyone wants to answer that question. You know, being married more than once or more than twice. You know, not, you know, like if they passed or anything like that, but just in general, like how could you do it? You know, like it's one thing to be with someone after someone else or whatever, but like, I mean, I don't know. I just want to hear everyone's thoughts. And with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. I will catch you in the next video. But hope everyone has a great weekend.